Hi there, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. Thanks for joining us on this. Actually, it's quite mild actually today, isn't it? It's not as cold
It's
as it
much,
was.
much warmer than it was the
We'll
last
call it a
couple of days.
moderately cold day. It's been a while actually since our last show. So Mo, how have you been in the last month or so? Not
Yeah, I
seen you
know.
for a
I've
while.
been out for a while. I'm very, very glad to be back again.
You were benched for a few weeks, Mo, like
Yeah.
unacceptable
It
behaviour.
was just work, just loads of
Work.
deadlines, and you needed to work late hours. Couldn't watch the films, which is why I didn't turn up.
Fair enough. You can just blag it, man. I blag half the show, so it's all good. Right, so today we've got Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Star Wars. So we shouldn't drag on too long today, hopefully, depending on how long the Star Wars rant takes. But
Yeah.
we'll leave that till later on. Right, so to kick things off, first film, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. This literally came out this week, actually, on my birthday.
Yeah.
I will not reveal my age. It is confidential now. So this stars Dwayne Johnson, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart in an ensemble cast. It's a remake of, well, not a remake, it's more like a reboot.
It's
I
not a
think.
remake,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
sequel kind of thing from the popular 90s version starring Robin Williams. But the twist here is that instead of the game coming to them, they go into the game. And it's kind of adapted to the new generation, smartphones, gaming, all that stuff. Instagram, the whole lot is a lot of connections to the current pop culture. So let's kick this off. So I don't think you had a full chance to watch the movie fully.
No,
so
I
I'll
had
let
to, I had to
you.
leave halfway through.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bar myself from.
Okay, so I'll
giving
let
out
you
opinions.
ask me the questions then for this one. Then.
So this film was a long film. It was longer than
2 hours.
I was thinking it was gonna be. But nowadays all films are pretty long, aren't they?
I think 2 hours is now the standard for
Yeah.
these movies now. So
Yeah. Anyway, going into how this film came about,
Yeah.
the trailers were very, very underwhelming. And I thought, whenever I
Yeah.
watched the trailers, I thought, oh, this is gonna be one of those
Like,
crap films. Yeah, that the Rock will just be the Rock.
raise
and-
eyebrows, be a bit, all this general stuff. To be honest, I didn't really watch the trailers much. I kind of thought, you know what, the trailer is not really going to affect my decision. I'm going to watch it regardless because Jumanji, connected to the past. And
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a good cast. It looks fun. I'll watch it. I try not to let trailers sway me too much nowadays because even people can meta analyze a 3-minute clips. So
Yeah, and good trailers can turn out to be bad. Bad trailers turn out to be
I've
good.
just kind of got a gut instinct. I mean, look, it's a good cast. All the actors are great. They're funny. Let's see what goes. So, yeah. So,
What did you?
I loved it actually.
What did you think
It's
overall?
a great
Yeah.
movie. I wouldn't say it's the best film there, but I would say it is on par with probably the original. Because actually on Rotten Tomatoes, I know it's a while ago, but that's on 60, 70, 80%.
No, it's around 80 something.
It's not.
Was it not?
No, it's around 70. It's the 70, 80 range. This is in its similar range. So they're both equally
All right.
received critically, and I think this film was great fun. I mean, if you go in there, just expecting that level of, it's just a popcorn film. You watch it, it's funny. It's got its jokes. The characters are amazing. The storyline's pretty funny actually,
Yeah.
and it's roaring fun.
So what's the premise? What is the actual
Okay.
premise of the storyline?
So basically, got a bunch of kids. They're all delinquents, shall we say, in their own ways.
Misfits.
Yeah, they're misfits essentially.
Yeah.
You got your stereotypical. You got the nerd. You got the jock. You got the diva, the drama queen, and you also got the one who's I don't know who I am. Just too cool for anything. She's on her own, like a loner, essentially. So they ended up getting put into detention, and instead of doing some mundane tasks that they've been assigned to, they find the Jumanji game. So brief story: the Jumanji is not a board game anymore; it's now a video game. And it's kind of well done in the way it just becomes a video game because it gets ignored at the beginning. It's oh, what the hell? They're not playing board games anymore.
Yeah.
It's gonna become a video game. That's it. End of. There's no convoluted method of why it became a video game. How it just
Yeah, it makes you wonder who's the coder.
yeah, it literally just became a cartridge and that's it. So they plug it in and they play it and they get sucked into the game. So the twist here is that they become the avatars that they select. So at the beginning they will select a character and then in the game they become the person that they. The thing is that you don't see the characters, you see the names and stuff.
Yeah.
So the twist here is that they become things that they're not expected. So the geek nerd guy, he's suddenly 6'5", 500-pound beefcake,
Yeah.
with pecs everywhere and
The
muscles.
Rock, basically.
Yeah, he's super confident. You got the jock, he's in the real life he's a tall guy, athletic, but in here he's Kevin Hart. So he's half his size.
Yeah.
He's a very diminutive, and he's the sidekick to the Rock's character. So he's and then you got Jack Black. He's playing the teenage Instagram, beauty
The
queen
diva.
girl. The diva, the Mean Girls character. So she becomes the avatar says curvaceous genius. So she thinking of Kevin that way was actually just a middle-aged chubby guy.
Curvaceous genius.
So that's how she ends up choosing that character. And like the girl who's really like insecure about herself becomes like this like kick-ass attractive lady. So the thing is here, what works is like all these characters, actors are playing roles they don't really play. Like The Rock is playing some insecure teenager. Jack Black is playing some sort of teenage beauty queen. I think Kevin Hart's the only one who's playing like a role he's really usually plays like kind of. I get it. I'm short. I'm a bit insecure about my height. All those jokes. And Karen Gillan, like she's playing a girl who's not really confident about her body and she's a bit timid. Like, what the hell am I? Look at me. All that stuff. So I think what works is that most of the actors are playing roles they usually associate with. So it kind of mixes it up in that sense. And yeah, they just basically have to get to the end. And there's a lot
End of the game.
End of the game, yeah. So it's got a lot of gamer references, which you'd like. If you're a gamer, you love them. They're talking about NPCs, cut scenes, all this, lives. You've got little jokes in it. And it comes out really well, actually. Connects pretty well with the crowd nowadays. I think they adapted all of that pretty well.
I thought, so the first however minutes I watched, I thought the idea that they mix up their characters.
Yeah, the body
cool
swapping
idea.
Was,
I saw this last day in Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Remember in Scooby-Doo, the second Scooby-Doo film, their souls go from one body to another, and Velma is Shaggy, Shaggy is Daphne.
Okay, and the body swapping always makes a nice concept.
But this is a similar thing, because it adds a dynamic of humor that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get.
There are a lot of jokes in this, actually. I mean, it's not as PG as the original, so I definitely say that. It's more of it's a 12A. There's a few jokes that are a bit more risque, shall we say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just a little warning out there. It's not for all the family, but it's a good. I mean, it's pretty savage at times as well. Actually, I mean, it's very, very like animals are pretty like dangerous.
Yeah.
Like when they say you got live, they literally stuff happens.
So the hippo eat up.
Exactly, and it's pretty like whoa, where did that come from? But if I was going to say anything bad, I mean, the villain is totally unnecessary. Van Pelt, it's the same villain from the original Jumanji, like another descendant or something.
Oh, right.
But it just felt like there was no need to have the villain in it. It could have worked perfectly well just saying, you guys are here, get to here, and the jungle will try and kill you.
Yeah, it becomes more adventure rather...
There's no subplot.
Yeah.
Here it's like, there's this other guy, he wants this gem, and this gem gives him all this power, then the gem got stolen.
Yeah.
And they're going to return the gem to the dragon or tiger statue. I'm like, well, it would just work. Here's a gem, just put it in this place, then... And I think the parts where it slows down is definitely whenever this villain appears, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest.
And it distracts from the actual, makes the film actual fun.
Basically the cast is what makes that film absolutely fun. It's like the four characters work well, and they work well with each other. Yep. There's a little chemistry and there's a little antagonism between each other. The scenes when like Jack Black is trying to teach, I'm going to keep calling him by the actor's name. So the scene with Jack Black's character is teaching Karen Gillan's character how to flirt, because she's obviously insecure about her body. She's never done it before. And he's like walking around doing the poses and the struts and like flipping his hair and stuff. So like, they all have really good banter with each other. And like,
that is hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean, I've never actually seen Jack Black usually gets typecast in like the toilet humor roles. This is pretty different. And he looks like he really enjoyed being a 17-year-old girl in high school. So
that's good. We don't see enough of him, do we?
Yeah.
He's actually quite funny. I've seen a few interviews where he's quite funny.
Yeah, so I think, I think the 2-hour pad time is from that villain. I think cut off half an hour out of him.
Oh, right.
They randomly cut back to him like, yo, I'm angry, I want to find these kids, I want to kill them. I'm like, just forget this guy, man. I think that must have been a decision from the producers, like, we need a bad guy in this film to...
As you always do.
Yeah, but they could have done it without it. But, I mean...
Just make the game the bad guy.
Yeah, just say the jungle's going to kill you. Why? Because it's the jungle.
Yeah.
It's just animals, they're going to murder you. Anything else which I got here? I mean, there are a few plot holes, to be honest. Like the scene at the end where... Like
let's not spoil.
It's not a spoil, but like the final scene where like, they've got the plan. Like you're like thinking, did they even think of that plan? Like it doesn't really work if you think about it. And it just happened by luck. So, but
okay. Plot armor. Yeah, as you always.
But it's just like it's one of those films you really wouldn't be too fussed about it. It's Jumanji, man. It's not. I feel like Star Wars. You got to critique every single scene here. Yeah. You just move on with it, man, and you just enjoy it. So. Yeah, I mean that's about it.
No, glad to hear. I was.
I'll definitely get back to watching the other 1.5 hours if you get a chance.
Oh, definitely, I will. I was a big fan of Jumanji when it came out back in the days.
I mean, there's one scene which is pretty funny. It's like because in a game, they'll find out they can check out their like statuses, like strengths and weaknesses. So they all like just press like a button, their heart, and like it comes up saying strengths, weaknesses, and like the Rock is like strengths, everything, weakness, none.
It's
It's just like, and then they all got little things like that. So it's got little Easter eggs and stuff. So and I loved it. I think anyone who's in this, who's familiar with the pop culture, would definitely.
Yeah, and these days everyone's a hipster, everyone's a geek, everyone plays games.
Exactly. So it's nothing.
I'm sure even The Rock plays. He's got a PlayStation and plays games.
To be honest, this is the perfect role for The Rock. He literally is a video game character, and here he's a video game character. He's just like punching guys into the sky and like saying uppercut and uppercuts, and they go through the roof. So, yeah, I mean, initially, the reaction was very negative. People were like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." Like, why are they ruining my childhood? I'm like, calm down. You don't see anything. You see one picture. Like, give the film a chance.
I'm glad they mixed it up so people cannot exactly compare it to the older film.
You really can't compare it because the storylines are very different. They go in two different directions.
This could have been any other name. The name of the game could have been anything else. And
exactly. I think it's always because the Jumanji tag was on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is pretty much now everyone just has to analyze and be negative on any film.
Yeah. Like, everyone's a critic.
Yeah, I'm like, just give
everyone's a critic.
Yeah, but I've watched the film. Okay, fair enough, it's decent. I want to see one screenshot of it like a year before the film comes out and just hate on it, which is a bit unnecessary.
Well, if you were to summarize it down to a few words, would you say people should watch it?
Definitely, I'll say it's great fun. I mean, it is what it is. I think the cast is definitely what makes the film so much more better than it could have been.
The Rock and Kevin Hart have done a few films now. I think this is their third film together.
The last one's pretty poor, Simple Intelligence. So
that was pretty bad. But you could still see their chemistry working, which was the only saving grace in that film.
Exactly, and here, I mean, this work and the other two are also great. So I think definitely watch it just for those four because they work really well together. And I mean, there possibly will be a sequel probably.
Is there a sequel made in the end?
It's not as obvious. They don't make it. I mean, like. It's not that blatant, like Rings, at the end of Rings, like it's just so obvious it's gonna be a sequel. This one that's kind of like, they can make one if they want, to be honest. If they don't, they don't have to. They kind of leave it open-ended. So.
Yeah, it's an adventure tale, and without it's an open-ended adventure tale. Exactly. So you can always put someone else in. Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to use these same characters. It was like you come back as a MP3 player or whatnot, and go back in time in the in the 2000s and do it there.
Come back in as Batman.
But yeah, definitely. If you got something to do, Christmas breaks up now. Go out and watch it. You love it. It's great fun, and you shouldn't really be offended by it too much. So yeah.
Not too much.
Cool. Not too much. There's always something to be offended by. So, but yeah, right.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, definitely go check out the rest of the film. So, before we move on to the Star Wars review, we'll do a quick 1-minute review time now. It's been a couple of weeks, so I saw the Disaster Artist recently, so I thought I need to have a quick.
This is the film based on the other film, The Room.
Greatest film in the world.
The greatest film.
You've seen the greatest film in the room.
Yeah, I have definitely seen it. You know that film is still running in the first theater. If it got on, for 14 years, it's been running.
He probably bought the cinema. To be honest.
Who knows? Yeah. Apparently, the film cost 3 or 4 million to make.
Yeah. So get the clock on, and I'll set the clock, and I'll. Let me know once you're ready, and
I've got it. So this is going to be strictly 1 minute.
Yes, and give me 10-second intervals, like in my earpiece, which we don't have actually, so I have to yell out.
No, that's fine. I'll just warn you after.
Let me just quickly check my notes. Okay, cool.
I'll just warn you when the time is near.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. I did not beat her. I did not.
Okay.
All right, let's start. Ready? 1, 2, go.
Right, cool. The Room, starring James Franco and Dave Franco, is the telling of the making of the worst film or the best film in the world for the 2003's The Room. So this was a really weird movie starring Tommy Wiseau and his friend Greg. So this is the story of how that film became to be. So James Franco and Dave Franco play the two lead characters, and it's actually a very great film. I mean, the film itself, The Room, is a joke. It's like absolutely horrible. But what they managed to do in this movie is actually put some feeling into it. So Tommy Wiseau is a very unique character, but James Franco really makes us feel for him because although the film is a joke to us from his side of things, it's actually a really serious issue for him and it really affects him. So I mean, by the end of the movie, you're like, wow, I actually feel for the guy. And even though the film he made was a joke, actually he achieved something in his life that he really wanted to do. He wanted to make a film, and he did. So if you like The Room or you watch The Room and you know of this weird phenomenon from the 2000s, you'll definitely love this movie. I'll check it out. Even if you haven't watched The Room, my brother watched it and he hadn't seen The Room. I haven't heard about it and he really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely go check it out. I mean, it's even been tipped for some Oscar nominations.
No ironic. Way, really?
Because it's pretty intense drama.
Oscar nomination?
Yeah.
Wow.
Considering the film is like Razzies, like it would dominate the
Yeah,
Razzies.
yeah.
So how long do I have actually before?
Well, you've crossed by 30 seconds more, so,
cool, man.
so it's fine. I didn't want to break your.
She's been thorough. Okay, don't worry. 1 minute 30 review. But yeah, definitely. And I did not hit her.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Seth Rogen's in it as well, man. They're all,
Have you seen the that video going on Facebook or YouTube that goes, "Oh, hi, Mark," and then it cuts to Star Wars Mark Hamill.
yeah, I've seen it. The mashup, yeah. But seriously, if you got some time to kill, just find it. It's just the most bizarre film in the world. But watching the disasters, you really understand. Wow.
Wait, so how should it be watched? Should it be the disaster artist first and then the
you
room?
gotta watch the room.
You have to watch the room
You
first.
don't have to, but if you watch it, you'll
Understand the references.
Even more funnier, yeah.
All right.
Than it is. Right, cool. So now we got that out of the way. Our 1 minute 30 review.
On to our next.
On to probably the biggest one. So how long do we have? We got about 10 minutes. We'll try and keep it to 10 minutes. So this is Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the latest episode in the Star Wars franchise. I don't really think we need to give you guys a background, but this picks up from the events of The Force Awakens, where
Does it really?
depending on how the time frame is, to be honest.
Well, that is to be debated because I thought this film was a complete. Well, in my mind, it's a wholly solo film that exists on its own. There is very little relation to what happened in
Yep.
The Force Awakens. Nothing seems to follow through in
Right, so
terms
before
of
we
storytelling.
go into the analysis, let's give a quick background. So this stars Rey from the last episode who finds Luke Skywalker, focuses on their training, but at the same time the First Order, the bad guys of the last movie, have got the Resistance on the back foot and they're going to try and pound them into submission and end their existence. So this film has been very divisive in the critical analysis.
Very, very.
The critics seem to love it, but the fan score is absolutely it's like 50% or something.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean it's very usually the fan score is a bit low, but this is dramatically low, and people are campaigning to get this removed from the canon.
And redo the film, right?
Redo the film, yeah. So let's do the goods first, because I don't want to be too negative on it. So I think the most important thing is the director, is it Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
He's coming for this, where J.J. Abrams was from the first one. Which I find is a curious move. I'm not sure if it's because of his scheduling issues, but it's weird for J.J. Abrams to do 2 of the movies, and the middle one is done by someone else, I think. I'm not sure what the reason is behind that.
I think that's fine. I mean, if you look at the rest of what Disney does with Marvel, the Russo brothers did Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Star Wars, because it's so intricate, storyline and plot details are very important. With Marvel, the Russos do the serious ones.
You mean in terms of tone?
Yeah,
tones of the film that you have to be very.
This film is supposed to be a lot darker. So
maybe that was the reasoning, because J.J. Abrams can only do normally
fair.
whatever he does, is either very character driven, or for children.
Yeah,
that's where he's
right. So positives.
Lies.
What did you like about The Last Jedi?
Well, in terms of what Rian Johnson did well, because this is very much a Rian Johnson film. He did The Looper before
Breaking
this,
Bad as well. So he's got that
parts
gritty,
of Breaking Bad.
He's got that gritty side.
Very
of
much so,
things.
and you can tell he's got his stamp very strongly on it. He may not be one of those auteur directors like Michael Bay and such, or Zack Snyder, but you can tell it's his film.
It feels very different to Force Awakens.
And I thought that in itself did not sit very well with me. I have a very distinct idea of what Star Wars films should be.
To be honest, I mean, being dark was an issue. I mean, I did love the scenes between. The whole Star Wars sheen and glosses on this. So straight away, I mean, from a visual perspective, it feels very Star Wars-like. So I won't say anything against that. And I love the scenes on the Salt Planet at the end with the red.
Did you?
I think it looked very nice. From a visual perspective.
Just cinematography and visually.
From that, I mean, I think it made a nice substitution for blood, because there's not very much blood in. I don't think there's blood at all.
You can't.
And that made a nice substitute for blood, actually. Well, that's a nice way of getting around. It looked very nice from that part of it, and the Luke Rey relationship there was very interesting. Yeah, I was tempted to see where this goes. I mean, where it went wasn't really what I expected, but I think that was the more stronger sides of it. Mark Hamill, he's great as Luke. He loves this role. I mean, even now he's still engaged.
He still talks about it. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Harrison Ford was like, I
can't be bothered. I've made my millions.
Exactly, and but he loves it. So you can tell he really cared about this role. And I'd say the Kylo and the Rey dynamic, I like. It's something different, like seeing who can turn who. It's not. I don't think I've seen any of the previous movies. I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars, but I did like that. Who will turn? Who won't? Who's going to get the upper hand on that? So I did enjoy that little.
Well, you see,
dynamic they had.
there exactly we have how things have become very divisive among the crowds, because everything you said you liked were the things I did not like. And the things I did like were particularly Kylo Ren's acting, Kylo Ren's performance,
Adam Driver's
whatever
great.
Kylo Ren did. I think Adam Driver is the shining star in this entire film, if not the film saga. I don't know how he does that amazing acting. He must have many people telling him what to do, but he just pulled that role off
The rage,
like more than
conflict.
anything,
Yeah.
anyone else in that film. Even though the others are veteran actors, I thought like Carrie Fisher. I didn't know if she was even an actress in here. She in my mind, she looked like she just woke up from sleep and she was just
pretty much autopilot.
just doing autopilot. That's such a good way of putting it, because she was thinking, well, I didn't want to be in this film in the beginning,
But to
because
be honest, I'm not sure
they
how much
pulled her into this
I'm
film.
not sure if she because obviously she sadly passed away. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure if they
unfortunately
finished filming all the scenes or if some of your CGI.
No, they did finish.
So all the scenes were done. Okay.
Yeah, all the scenes were
Yeah,
done.
her scenes were very like, it's just like, and there's
Yeah.
one particular scene which I'm not going to mention, but it's just like, whoa. I'm just going to say Superman scene, and you know what I'm talking
Superman
about, but I don't
scene.
want to say anything,
Yeah.
reveal anymore.
Yeah. You see, those are the things that gets fans
Yeah.
up during the night, because they think, what did I just watch?
Mm.
So we're not going to spoil. This is not going to be a spoiler.
We'll do that next week. If Eleni
yeah.
wants to be part of the rant, she's like, don't rant away without me, so we'll do that next week.
Because
I mean,
Eleni has a lot to talk about.
yeah,
this,
she's a
doesn't she?
proper Star Wars fan. She went to
Yeah.
the midnight screening and stuff.
Did
so,
she?
Yeah,
Right.
so.
Well, I'm a Star Wars fan as well,
Mm.
but not as much as her.
Yeah, I mean, what I think really got me on this one is first, it's way too long, 2.5 hours. Secondly, the whole Finn is wasted. He's like, John Boyega is such a charismatic actor,
Yeah.
and he's reduced to nothing in this film. He's like an errand boy.
Yeah.
And they try and give this romance, which we really don't need. And his whole adventure wastes a massive chunk of the film.
Yeah.
Like during like the main story where they're being chased by the enemy, they just go away and do something else. And it's just like really unnecessary.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work anyway. So
Not at all. Even in terms of time,
Yeah.
the timeline, they've got 18 hours to do something.
So yeah, it's like, is this?
And they go into a different planet,
yeah.
and they get
They
distracted.
do
They get distracted, like saving that planet,
yeah.
like
Then,
coming up with socio-political issues, and
yeah, that's
you're
very
thinking, what are you thinking?
Suddenly become like about
The other people are in danger. What are you doing in that planet?
exactly.
And you didn't even
Do what
you
you're
didn't even
supposed to
do what you're supposed to do when you go to that planet.
And also, I mean, the characters are a bit like the new general. What's the name? General Holdo. Her motivations were very weird. Like her
Yeah.
her motivations are very questionable, but there's no payoff. Like you think there must be a reason why she's acting like this, but nope, she's just
Yeah.
doing it just to stoke up drama.
Without spoiling much,
Yeah.
I thought her character would turn
yeah,
dark.
or there's something.
Yeah,
but
something like a
there's nothing.
spy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope it's not a spoiler. But she's not a spy,
Right.
and I was disappointed by that,
Yeah.
because that's the only way I could explain her behavior and action.
Yeah, that's why it's questionable. Like, why, you wouldn't act like that as a leader unless you had
Yeah.
ulterior motives.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
So was Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac. He was wasted in the film.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
first film, he was a he was a like a very
Speaking of wasted,
yeah.
it's
He
what
was a very
wasted characters.
inspirational character. He was the best star pilot.
Forget that, man. You can't waste character Phasma. They brought her back and then like
Oh my
hardly
God,
in it. I
yeah.
don't want to say what's that, but she's
Yeah.
hardly in it. It's like because they said in this she'll shine in this one. The first one she was introduced. This is in this one. This is where she's gonna be like kick ass, but nope.
Yeah.
Wasted.
Well,
So I'm like, what was the point of that? Like, why did you hype her up?
exactly. Hopefully, she's coming back in the next film.
It has to, cause like
You have to, yeah.
you can't build up a character like that and just say man.
Yeah.
I mean, there is another character that is Mer, but I'm not going to mention that. I mean, there's a very big twist, and it's kind of like, wow, did you just like after everything happened in the first movie, you did that? You know, it's just like that really. I don't want to. I'm so tempted to say it, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
must know what I'm talking about. There's a scene, and like it just ruins the first movie. It's like, okay, you did all of that in the first movie, and now this happens, and it's like, what was the point of the first movie?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Let's not spoil it.
As vague as possible.
I thought many people have raved about Mark Hamill's performance,
Mm.
but I think he wasn't given enough to show himself.
Yeah, no.
I thought Luke Skywalker was very disappointing. I was so
I
disappointed
think this one in the
with
sense
what
like,
Luke Skywalker was.
I mean, his performance is good, but I think it's the fact his actual role in the film was very.
Yeah,
very
the
big.
character Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, it's just like.
He's not the Luke Skywalker. He did things. I'm not gonna say what.
Yeah.
He did things that Luke Skywalker wouldn't do. Even though I understand he's now a more worn character, life-worn character. He's seen so much. He's disappointed with himself. But even then, I don't think Luke
I think
Skywalker
one thing I
do.
didn't know about him is like, like they find him as I didn't want to be found, but I'm like, you left a freaking map in the first movie to find you.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
that's not a spoiler, but it's just like he's like, no, I don't want to be left alone. But I'm like, but you made a map for people to find you. Then now you can't just suddenly say I didn't want to be found if you left a map.
Yeah.
It's just like that's how you can see like the two directors. They obviously had two different like ideas, and it's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Probably one other thing is
I just have a feeling that Disney said make this film dark because this has to tally back to The Empire Strikes Back.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think I mean those sort of cop out. There's one moment I thought one of the main characters is going to die, and I thought, you know what? I don't mind if they die here. It kind of
Solidifies there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've kind of their journey's done, but they even cop out on them like, oh come on, man. Like now it just. You
Yeah.
know, is this a darker film? There should be some deaths in it just to make it, you know. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I just felt disappointed by it. I mean, it's like I was with my mate. My mate was like, you know what? I just feel like, you don't want to feel like that after Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like after Force Awakens, I, you know what? That was really good, really fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Even though I didn't enjoy Force Awakens as much compared to this, that is miles better.
So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen for Episode 9 now. I mean, we'll see. I mean, because people are like, fans are outraged. I don't, and
Yeah.
like the critics seem to be fine. So there's a lot of argument.
I feel like the critics have been paid off. Either that, or they are so into their nostalgia
yeah.
that they think this film is amazing. I just cannot imagine someone saying this film is as good. Like 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. What?
There's a scene where they go on the alien planet and they're like, you know, like riding on those horses with the thing, and it felt like very, very Phantom Menace like.
Yeah, goat horses.
Yeah, and they're like being chased and riding. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
was-
we'll try to keep it as short as possible. Next week we'll have a full like critical analysis,
Yeah.
all the spoilers. So
A
if you
few other things I thought I would just
Yeah.
mention. There are
want- you
loads.
have 1 minute. Go
There are
on.
loads of plot holes in the film.
Yes, there are.
Loads
I
of
don't
plot
wanna
holes.
mention
Not
them
just
all.
continuity plot
Yeah.
holes, but just plot holes within the film itself,
Yeah.
as well as subplots that are such a distraction that and they don't tally back to the main plot. That you're thinking
What's
that
the
should have been a different film in its own right, rather than.
That reminds me
following.
of like, so when they're trying to escape and they like they do something to escape. I'm like, why didn't you do that at the beginning, instead of like, you know, when the resistance are trying to escape from the First Order and they end up escaping. But
Oh yeah.
what
yeah.
they done, I think like they just
Yeah.
done at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why did you waste like 1 hour of the
Yeah.
movie? when it's
Exactly.
Just done at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever, yeah. So I mean, it sounds like a very negative review. So how would you wrap it up? You wanna wrap it up?
I'm gonna wrap it up with a few summary points.
Okay,
Like
fair enough. I don't think 3 words is enough.
no, I don't think 3 words is enough for
Yeah.
this because good bits about the film is it's a Star Wars film.
Yeah,
That in itself will carry. I mean, this film cost 800 million to make. They need 800 million to break even.
They probably will, to be honest.
They
It's Star
definitely
Wars.
will. They will reach 2 billion very likely. But you don't feel like you have watched 800 million
epic,
worth of
yeah.
money, and you feel like part of it has been gone down the drain. But yeah, I thought direction-wise it was a good film.
Mm.
Rian Johnson is a good director, and it's direction-wise it goes. But I don't think the narrative and the plot lines were well thought out. There was continuity issue, which just makes you feel, being a Star Wars fan,
Man, yeah.
you'd want everything to connect, everything like
Mm.
everything to work out. There were things done with the Force that are almost
I'm just gonna say Superman scene.
yeah, they were almost non-canon,
Superman scene. Oh man,
and
legendary.
they waste loads of the characters.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker is wasted, Finn is wasted, Poe is
Probably
wasted.
Yeah.
And they bring in new
Phasma's
characters.
wasted.
Phasma is wasted, and they bring in new characters like
Rose.
Benicio del Toro or
Rose.
Bloody Rose. Bloody Rose.
Yeah, I mean like Rose.
What a waste!
Yeah, she's
And
there for no reason.
as in, yeah, that's not a waste. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of time rather than a character.
Right. For me, I'll just say it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I put my review on the blog. It's like it disappoints. Like you love the Star Wars aspect of it, but when you look at it in the nitty gritty of it, like you know what, it could have been so much better
Yeah.
if they went a certain way. But yeah, before we drag on
Would
too
you
long,
say people should watch it?
yeah, definitely watch it because it's a Star Wars movie. It's just an event to watch it itself.
Definitely watch it. I'll say definitely don't
Yeah.
watch it. Buy it
Is
on
it?
Blu-ray. I'll say buy it on Blu-ray so you're not disappointed thinking that you've spent £20 going on it.
I wouldn't say it's that bad. I mean, I think it's a spectacle on its own just to watch a Star Wars movie and it feels good. But obviously, don't expect it to be amazing and blow you away. That's
Yeah.
basically my thing. But anyway, before we rant on for too long and it's 9 p.m. and I need to go home. But yeah, thanks for joining us and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.